Where did the name Puppet Up come from?
It developed when we were making the Muppet movies, or one of the first couple Muppet movies. So you're on a normal film shoot, and the first AD will yell, "Stand by, first positions," as the actors get into the first positions, and then the first AD will yell, "Turnover," and that's when the cameras start rolling and the sound guy yells, "Speed." So on a puppet shoot, on a Muppet shoot, the first AD would add one more cue. So it would be, "Stand by, first positions," and then all the puppets would go to their first positions. But because puppets are so heavy, none of us would be up. We'd all go like this. So we'd get to our first positions, us physically, but the puppets would all be drooping. So then the first AD would add one cue of "Puppet Up," and then everybody would lift their puppets up, and then the first AD would call "Turnover," and they roll the cameras. So it became this term for, you're on with the puppet. And it seemed to make sense as the right term, the right title for this show. We started as a workshop, and we were meeting once a week and improvising with puppets. And then we decided to do one showcase, and we did that on a lot, and it was very successful, and it was the company and friends and stuff. But there was a producer from the Aspen Comedy Festival there, who after the show just said, "Bring your show to the Aspen Comedy Festival." And it was a great hit in Aspen, and then from Aspen it got booked to Edinburgh. Our original plan was not to create a stage show called Puppet Up. We're a camera company where we make films and television, and we don't really do stage shows. But it just sort of worked organically.
How important is Patrick Bristow to this show?
Patrick is invaluable. He's an amazing improv director, first of all. And when I first called Patrick, and it was actually my wife's idea to call Patrick to help because we needed the puppeteers to get funnier, and the puppeteers were starting to lose their funny. And she researched Patrick, and she called Patrick and asked Patrick to come meet with me. So Patrick and I met, and he did not really think that improvising was going to work with puppets, but he was all for trying it. And then it worked incredibly well. It actually worked better than anybody thought.
You've done a lot of film puppetry and television and film puppetry. What are the challenges doing a live, besides it being live, what are the challenges or differences doing a live show?
It's much more terrifying, particularly improv, because you're basically living your worst nightmare. Performers have a nightmare that they arrive at the theater and they're late. They're late for their stage call, and then they get on stage, and in your nightmare, you're on stage and you have no idea what the script is. Of course, that's all improv is. So we're all living our nightmares.
Yeah. How involved does the audience get with a Puppet Up show?
Particularly with the improv comedy, everybody needs to be sort of locked in. It gets very, very fast, so you're almost reading each other's minds as a group. That's when it's really humming along. And when it's really humming along, the entire audience is also reading all of our minds. So everybody becomes, it's like we're performing with them instead of for them.
A big part of the show is you bring up an audience member to puppeteer with you.
Yeah.
What is that experience like, having somebody who's never puppeteered before and walking them through what you do every day?
It's fun for me. And for me it goes all the way back, because I used to train puppeteers and audition puppeteers for my dad, going all the way back to when I was 20 years old. And I'd have to do that. That's the way we would audition. Each person would come in, we'd put a puppet right in their hands, put them right in front of the camera, and I'd start working with them and try to get them to puppeteer. You reach up nice and high. There you go. And then, are we done? Yeah, no, that's pretty much most of it. And then you do the arms with these. So it's a lot of fun for me, because it's very reminiscent of what I used to do when I was actually trying to elicit a performance from a puppeteer. And it's really fun here, where I get to just make fun of everything that they're doing wrong, and I'm very aware of the fact that they're completely off balance.
Okay, come on, Mike, you go bring this. Come on, there he is. Alrighty, okay. Austin J. Jamie Fox. Oh, Jay. Yeah. Jay. Yeah. I'm down here, Jay.
So I just get to play with them. The wonderful thing is, though, that afterwards, I feel like I'm really kind of ruthlessly making fun of them, but I'm ruthlessly making fun of them about their ability to do something that they've never ever tried to do, and therefore it's just a whole lot of fun. And they always appreciate it afterwards, and they always come up and say that was the fun, that was really fun, which is terrific because you worry a little bit. Oh my gosh, am I going to offend them doing this? But no, they always like it.